Are you like me and have absolutely no interest in being salesy or pushy, but you still are really excited about your business and want to grow it? Then you've come to the right place, because I'm going to tell you all about how to build a profitable evergreen sales funnel so that you can generate leads, generate sales, and create major buzz about your brand and your business. This is especially for you if you're a busy entrepreneur, if you want to reach people around the world, and if you want to make sure that your business is scalable as soon as possible. I want to tell you a little bit more about why I know what I know and why I can help you as much as I've helped people in over 100 niches in over 20 countries. So watch this quick introduction, 30 seconds or so, and then come right back. We'll be right here with a deep dive training to share with you exactly what works in your business so that you can apply it today. Remember, the more you learn, the more you earn. See you in a second.
Hi, I'm Ilean Harris, an entrepreneur and Cuban American. When I started as an entrepreneur, I had little resources, so I quickly learned how to work smart. I experienced lots of headaches and setbacks when I started, but today everything is different. I've got clients in over 20 countries, I've traveled the world, and I want to show you how to do the same. In this community, you will gain amazing training and inspiration to build a business of your dreams and a great lifestyle to go with it. Whether you're an entrepreneur with lots of ambition and experience, or you have just started your entrepreneurial journey, you've come to the right place. Remember, you can have it all.
Hey, welcome back. I'm so excited to talk to you about how to make these evergreen webinars and webinar funnels more profitable. When they're more profitable, that means you're getting more leads and more sales daily. This means that work you created once helps you make money over and over and over again. And this is extremely important because when you're building your business, you want to know that what you're doing is worth it. You want to do the best job possible because you want it to make sense. You want it to grow your business. And so if you want this to work, then you've got to treat it as a digital asset, right? It's something that I always teach my coaching clients. This is an asset that makes you money. This is something that tells people why they should work with you. This is something that is super fun to do. And so it's really important that you build this with this process in mind. The first thing is you want to promote, not to everyone, but you want to promote to your ideal audience. Not everyone in your ideal audience may self-select or may be interested in your class, but that's who you're promoting to. That's who you're getting in front of. Think about it this way. Sure, you might think, I sell food, everyone eats, but what kind of food do you sell? Because you don't want to sell a bunch of steaks to vegetarians. And so you can't just say, well, I'm a business coach. What kind of businesses have you helped? What kind of businesses do you want to focus on? You want your ad and your social media posts and just your promotional efforts overall to be very specific. Then you want people to self-select. I love doing that with an opt-in page. An opt-in page gives people a chance so that they can sign up for something. I'm not signing them up. I'm inviting them for something for free. And at any point, they can always unsubscribe. So I've got that clear conscience. Nobody's being pushy, salesy, annoying. This is something that people want and they need and they're going to appreciate. Something else that I love to do is I love treating my webinars as if it were a paid class. I love making sure that people feel really good about the training that they just got, that you can over deliver. And so that webinar is truly that digital asset. This is something where people are giving you their undivided attention, of course, but then you got to follow up. You never know if they watched the whole thing, if they were maybe having a few tabs open and they were on social media. You just don't know how it went, and so you want to follow up. Following up also allows you to anticipate their most frequently asked questions and so much more. And of course, then you can sell and onboard them. Don't just sell and onboard. I have such a pet peeve that businesses are amazing when selling to you and then crickets. After you buy from them, you got to chase them down. You should never be chased down to render your services or to deliver something. Always over deliver and give people that white glove service as much as you can. But something that's going to help you make your funnel more profitable is to start thinking of it a bit more objectively. I think it sometimes gets shuffled down because the word says webinar funnel, evergreen webinar funnel, digital marketing. You hear these terms and you start thinking, well, if it's a webinar funnel, then the only thing I've got to think about is my webinar. And yes, so that's a big one. That's important. Not telling you not to, but there are going to be some different things that you want to look at. So first, you want to be very specific. That make sure that the more specific you are, the more interested people are. Maybe not just how to generate leads online, but how to generate leads for your dental office. Not just how to generate leads, but how to generate leads for free for your dental office. How to generate leads for free for your dental office without online followers. Like, what special sauce you have to share with people. You can be better positioned. You can get more retention on your business and your webinar. You can have repeated success instead of having one great event. People can buy from you over and over and over again for work that you did one time. And then, of course, you can scale and 10x your results. And that's why I want you to think about these 4 different areas, not just the webinar, which is, of course, the word in the evergreen webinar funnel. And it's just that where your eye goes to, where your mind goes to, well, how many minutes does it have to be, and how long, and do I have slides? Do I not have slides? Do I need a script? Do I not need a script? And you get so stuck on those things that, yeah, they matter, but they're not the whole picture, okay? And I want you instead to step back for a second and work on your business, not just in it. And that's why to get daily sales and leads, you don't just need the webinar, you also need your promotion, your follow-up, and your sales page. That's extremely important. For your webinar, you're going to need value that converts. A lot of people just share value. You need more than just value. You need value that converts. And then you need to build your email list with it, okay? Value that converts is essentially something that gets people excited about the what and the why, and then your program is the how, okay? Your what and your why can be free, and your program is the how. And then this helps you build your email list. I love having an email list built of people who have watched my webinars, been interested in webinars. You know why? Because I love webinars. I'm going to keep offering webinars. So if you're into that, if you love learning, if you love tons of value, if you want to nerd out with me on things that have worked in my business, I have subscribers in over 40 countries, customers in over 20 countries. I've helped people in over 100 niches. Yeah, I'm probably not the best fit for you if maybe you just want PDFs. There are people out there that do that, and I love them for it because I love me a good little printable workbook too. But that's not what I want to put out into the world. That's not what I want to do. So not only is this great, like it's actually a great strategy that works, but it's also a really good fit for me, and it might be for you too. Another great thing is promotions. You want to post organically and also paid, okay? Organically is really important, and I'll tell you why, because people can discover you. I love paid ads, okay, more than anyone should, honestly. It's pretty much one of my love languages in business, and I think it's great because I can just get in front of people, okay? I don't have to dance or, deal with the algorithm, and to me, it just makes so much sense. I could run ads for anyone, for anything. And I just have a certain way of doing it that has worked for me for years, okay? But as the years have passed, I have seen that, hey, what if one day I turn off my ads or I wasn't running something where people are really able to find me, to run into my training and so much more. And so that's why I highly recommend also having organic strategies and being discoverable. And that's going to help you in your promotion. I mean, if your website's on 24/7, if your funnels work 24/7, then people should be on them 24/7, okay? So don't just promote one way, promote it as many different ways as possible. Next, you want to summarize things. You want people to, yes, of course, enjoy your webinar and enjoy the replay and all of that. But when they're like, oh my God, what did she say about this one thing? I want them to go into a sales page, and the sales page can summarize something. Your ad needs to invite people to your webinar. Your webinar needs to invite people to the sales page. The ad shouldn't have something the webinar is not going to go over, and the webinar shouldn't go over something that is never going to be on that sales page, right? It all needs to flow. It needs to be continuously helping people understand the exact same thing in different ways, because at the end of it, you don't want people saying, oh, that's new, or I hadn't thought of that, or, well, first time I'm hearing that. And then they say, well, I have to think about it. I have to talk to my partner, because, they're going to want that validation of, oh, I've got all these different things in my mind. Should I do this? And of course, then the partner's going to want to protect them. They haven't seen your webinar. They're going to be like, absolutely not. It's one of those things on the internet. And so what do you got to do? You got to be strategic. So not just having a webinar, having one that converts, not just having promotions that convert, not just having a sales page, but having one that converts into sales and has a call to action and tells people what to do next. On top of all of that, you definitely want to follow up, okay? That's just life. People have a lot of things going on. I love email marketing, but you can also do retargeting ads. You can even do the personal touch if your business is small enough or your team is large enough to pick up the phone and call. I remember when we sold health and wellness products and we were selling physical products, and for our very top package, I would call every single customer that was buying these supplements, and I would thank them, and I would leave them a voicemail, or I'd talk to them very briefly. And I just wanted to put that extra touch out there. But I did it for people at the largest packages, and I did it, for a certain period of time. But it was super fun. I was able to do it because I'm used to all these webinars and evergreen things. So I had that energy in me to do some live calls. And also it was just an extra touch. I never offered that. That wasn't a bonus I signed up for. They were never expecting that. And, it just made them feel seen. And I just reminded them how much I really appreciated their business. I'm always so incredibly grateful for anyone opting in or supporting my business in any way, because I love what I do. And then, of course, you can also follow up by a strategy session. I love doing that as a coach because my business isn't for everyone. And I want to make sure that if we're not the right fit, I'm just going to recommend you and point you in the right direction. If you are the right fit, then I'm going to show you what different options you have to work with me, from self-study to coaching to done for you. I am going to walk you through that. And I love that because that's me following up on a free class that they had that allows me to give them tons and tons of value. And so on top of all of that, you want to make sure that this process is profitable, because you can automate things that are not profitable. You can automate things that aren't really helping you in your online business. And so it's super important that you establish your costs. So I want you to think about these 5 different things, okay? Lead costs, overhead, affiliate costs, your price, your profits. And a lot of people might say, oh my goodness, I'm so new. I've never done this before. Some people might say, I already have my system, I have my accountant, this and that. Look, I have an accounting team myself. This is strategy. You've got to know your strategy. You've got to think backwards. So a very simplistic overview would be, if you want 10 new customers, but you've just got 10 people signed up for your webinar, that means you're going to have to convert at 100%. Most people don't convert at 100%. I think that you can convert at a very high percentage. Of course, if you have the right copy, you're targeting the right audience with your ad, you've got the right webinar, and you've got the right pricing for your offer. But without me being able to coach you one-on-one, I don't see how I could walk you through all those processes. So I've got to give you something that's going to help you think it through. So let's say you've got 10 people that you want to sign up as your client, your customer, etc., a new student in your program, however you have it outlined, then you're going to need at least 10 to 100 times that many people signed up for your webinar. So if you know how many customers you want to have, then you can multiply that significantly. If you've never done it before, then you've got to account for human error, mistakes, tech hiccups, all these different things. So you don't just want to say, well, I need at least 100 people to watch my webinar so I can sell to 10. You want to give yourself some room so that you can figure some things out, okay? And as you get better and as things get more specific, then you need less people to make more sales. Does that make sense? And so you've got to think to yourself, all right, if I want 10 customers, I'm going to need minimum, bare minimum, at least 100 people to my webinar. You know how much your program and your product costs. Now you need to figure out how much your leads cost, because then that's going to dictate your advertising spend, or how much you're willing to spend on affiliates. How many affiliates do you want promoting you? I love affiliates because this is really cool. It's really awesome that someone's recommending you. I mean, I just think that's so cool. And yeah, they deserve to be paid for it. And I also think that if they have an audience that trusts them, they've invested in that audience. You don't know what ads they have had to run so that they can develop that audience. They should be compensated for that, obviously. But once they make a sale, absolutely, they were part of that happening in your business. They should be compensated. And so all these different pieces you want to think about. So think about your lead cost. So let's assume for people to join your webinar, you are paying $10 each for each one to join. So if you know how much it's going to cost you, let's say your lead is each $10, all right? And let's say you need, of those $10, you want 150 leads, then you already have an idea you're more or less going to spend $1,500 in advertising, okay? So how do you figure out what your lead cost is? You advertise your webinar and you start seeing how much it is. And on average, you should also know what it is in your industry so that you know if it's too high. I've seen attorneys that are happy to pay $100 a lead. I've seen people that are happy to do $1,000 a lead because it's so niche and what they're selling is so high ticket, it still makes sense for them. And so you're saying to yourself, okay, so if of this $1,500, all right, I sell, let's say a $200 product, and I sell it to 10 people, then you're gonna spend $1,500 to make $2,000. So A, you make your money back, and B, you profit $500. You have to say to yourself, well, either you increase the amount of leads that you want to take in, or you increase the cost of what you have to offer. You get creative with your marketing, but this allows you to keep this profitable. But that's not where I stop. You've got to know your lead costs. It's also super important for you to think about your overhead, all right? So how much is it for you to have an office space if you have one? Maybe a WeWork, or maybe childcare while you're running your business. Perhaps you're paying for ClickFunnels, for ConvertKit, for any other system or tool. How much are these things costing you? Maybe you have a customer service agent. Know your lead cost, know your overhead, know your affiliate cost. Don't assume that that is just a profitable sale, because now if you are selling through affiliates, you're getting a portion of the sale. And so that's a whole other lead cost, which I still think it's worth it. Don't get me wrong. I just want you to be aware of it. I just want you to plan ahead and to think about your strategy. And next, I want you to think about your sale price. What's the offer? Is there a sale that you're offering? Is there a cost to rendering services versus what if people pay full price? And then think, of course, your sale minus your costs. Is this scalable? If you did this 20 times over, is it worth it to you? If you did this 100 times over, is it worth it to you? I've had leads that have cost me pennies. I've had leads that have cost me up to $10, $15 each. It just depends on a lot of different variables. But if you're thinking to yourself, how do I have a profitable evergreen webinar, and you want something running on autopilot, especially as you're testing your targeting, who you're getting in front of, as you're testing your copy, as you're testing a lot of different things. If you want to do it through paid advertising, or you want to take that time, these are numbers that you should know. If you're working with an agency, these are numbers that you all can go through together, and they'll probably give you a spreadsheet with something called your KPIs, your key performance indicators. They'll tell you very specific things like how much your clicks are, this and that. That's what I do for my clients that I do the digital ads for social media, whether it's Google ads, Pinterest, or, any other social media platform that they're super excited about. But, let's say someone is on TikTok, I'm going to walk them through what that's looking like for their online business. But you need to know what your cost is. It's not just about, do you have the budget? Sometimes if it's way too high, that means I'm getting in front of very little ideal people. So if I'm spending $100 a day and I'm getting 100 leads, that's $1 each. And if my ceiling is $10, I'm like, I'm doing great. So it gives me a baseline. It gives me something to work with. If, let's say, it's election season, or it's Black Friday or Christmas time, and everyone and their mom is advertising and my lead costs are double, I can decide, well, it's still worth it to me not to just disappear or, pause my business's promotion, or I can work that into my pricing so that in those seasons when running my evergreen webinar may seem a little scary, like, oh my God, I don't know if that's going to be super profitable, then I've already worked in that cushion for myself. But this is what differentiates you between a hobbyist and a business owner. This is the difference between making sales in your sleep and not sleeping because you're not generating sales. You've got to know these costs. And once you know these costs, it's super empowering, because you know what you're looking for. It almost becomes a game. Like, how can I grow my online business? How am I going to reach my ideal audience? How am I going to improve my lead magnet? Now you get more excited about split testing and so much more. I talk about it in my other videos about webinar funnels and evergreen webinars, so you definitely want to check out that playlist. But I'm super passionate about it because once you know these numbers, then you can have so much more clarity. You know how much you're willing to scale. You know how fast you're willing to go. You know how slow you're willing to go. You are able to see things from a different perspective rather than feeling like you're gambling. Like, well, today I'm going to throw $100 at advertising. Let's see what happens. Someone might throw $100 at advertising, get 10 leads, and just be like, oh, I just lost $100, instead of thinking, oh my gosh, this worked perfectly fine. I just got 10 leads for $10 each, okay? And how can I improve this? Or how can I increase my budget? Or, how can I lower this cost? How can I be more creative? That's a whole other conversation versus just 10 people. And you take it for granted and you're just not clear at all. And so your advertising game, in terms of you scaling your evergreen webinar, your webinar funnels, should not feel like gambling. It shouldn't feel like a slot machine. Okay, you've got to sit down and you've got to work to this. So if you were my coaching client, if you were one of my agency clients, then we would go through all of this with you because this is super important for your scalability for your business, okay? And so know these things, watch the other videos. Also in the description, I'm going to leave you the link to my webinar funnel training. So if you want to know the ins and outs of what has helped me grow my clients in over 20 countries, have over 100,000 email subscribers, build my brand in Spanish and in English, and travel the world while doing it. I'm recording this right now in the Dominican Republic. Then go ahead and check out that free training, okay? You do not want to sleep on this strategy. Once this is working for you and it's set up, work that you did once pays you over and over and over again. It is completely worth figuring out whether you're into this stuff or not. Once it's done, it is done, and you just have to think about scaling. So if you've got any questions, let me know in the comments below, or feel free to reach out. I'm super excited that you are here today, and I'm super excited for your webinar funnel to come to fruition. So until next time, remember, you can have it all and you can have it now. We'll talk soon.